Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Attilio, and this is the art part of the show. What is that, Adrienne?
That is Attilio's Random Thoughts.
So I want to talk to you about Brené Brown and vulnerability. Vulnerability is the key ingredient to connection with people. You know, we talk about it in sales that the old school mentality of what ABC stands for was what? What's the old school version, Adrienne?
Always be closing.
And think about it. Here's a question for our listeners. Raise your hand. I can't see you because it's radio, but raise your hand if anybody enjoys being closed.
No
right?
one.
Closed.
Said no one.
Yeah, said no one. And so what that means, like closing, you think about it, it's just somebody, that's the difference between manipulation and persuasion, because what is the difference between persuasion and manipulation?
So
manipulation is closing, and manipulation
is doing something because like if that's what you want and what's good for you.
Win-lose.
Yes.
Yep.
And then with the
persuasion.
Persuasion, that's just for the greater good. It's a win-win.
Win-win.
It's good for everybody.
Yeah. And so for us in our approach with all of our clients and our team members, it's always win-win. And it's always about connection. And you think about it, connection is like, I always talk about success is like squeezing an orange. At work, when you squeeze an orange, what comes out?
Orange juice.
When you squeeze the orange at home, what comes out?
Orange juice.
Orange juice. So these things that we're teaching with you are coming to us, and we're talking about it in a business environment, but you can use these at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the greatest, in my opinion, educators, research psychologists on human connection is Dr. Brené Brown. And she talks, she would be somebody that if she was introducing herself in a networking event, she would say, I'm an expert and studier of vulnerability.
Yeah, I think that her TED Talk about vulnerability was like number one for quite some time.
And it's still probably top 5 as far as the most viewed TED Talk. So there's your homework, listeners. Go on to just go on Google. It's either going to take you to the TED Talk or the TED Talk that's on YouTube. But Google Dr. Brené Brown, Brené, B-R-E-N-E-E, 2 E's, and then the last name is Brown, and you're going to see that TED Talk that she has. The other one that I recommend, and this is a great one to watch with your kids because it's an animation, and it's about empathy, and that one's only about, I think, like 2 minutes, like 2-3 minutes. Yeah.
And we watched that one.
For our team, with our team.
With our team at our team meeting this last week.
Anyway, she has... To truly connect with people, you have to be vulnerable. I'll say that one more time. To truly connect with people, you have to be vulnerable. And a lot of times we don't connect with people because the ego is all fired up. And then we're trying to just look good, be right, and be arrogant when in true connection with another human being, we need to be vulnerable. And she came up with an acronym.
But there has to be trust before there's vulnerability. And trust is earned. It's not just given instantly.
But
right?
if you guys are watching us on our streaming on any of the platforms, you're going to be seeing that video regarding empathy and sympathy and the difference between the two. Empathy is truly connecting to someone, whereas sympathy is really if somebody comes to you and tells you something sad, your response is, want a sandwich?
No, at least this or at least that.
Yeah, want a sandwich? Totally not understanding where you're at. So that's something to think about. But Dr. Brené Brown has an acronym. It's called BRAVING. And you were listening to it too. I was on that training this morning with Mia from Rise. And she talked about this is how we break down what vulnerability is. And I wish I had my notes in front of me because I would have it. But do you remember what all of the different acronyms stood for? What was B stood for?
I will look it up.
Okay. Anyway, let's look it up real there. And then while you're looking that up, let's see how fast you can look it up because we're running out of time here before we got to get on with the show. But anyway, it's called BRAVING. And if I don't have it in this moment, we'll talk about it in the next show. Did you get it?
Boundaries. Reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and generosity.
Yeah. And before we go on to the next portions of our show, let's break those down. So braving, BRAVING. Give me the first one. What's B?
Boundaries.
Boundaries. What she talks about is that if somebody is coming to you and sharing something with you, like maybe they're sharing something with you that's illegal and they want you to go do it with them.
Well, it's
your boundary would be
respecting and communicating your limits and respecting the limits of others.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then the next one is R, which is reliability. She defines it, and then you can read her thing there from on your phone. But reliability is like, this is how I would describe it. You know how you have those people in your lives that when they come to parties or it comes time to do work and they're invited to that, they're the first ones to show up and the last ones to leave.
Yes.
And they always come. And then you know who these PR people are, and if you're one of them, you need to change.
Gotta work on that.
But there's the people that sometimes they don't even show up.
No show.
If they do show up, they're late, and then the first one's out the door when it's time to clean up.
So here it says,
not reliable.
Doing what you say you will do consistently.
Oh, I'm helpful sometimes.
Keyword,
you got to be helpful all the time if you want to be someone that they can rely on. What's the next
Accountability.
one? Accountability. My definition of accountability is you do what you say, and what you say is what you do, and you're a person of your word.
Owning your mistakes and making amends.
Yeah, and that we're not perfect.
No one's perfect.
That we're not perfect.
Make mistakes, but learn from them, right?
I'll tell you, the most powerful statement you can adopt into your vocabulary is this one. I made a mistake. I made a mistake, because a lot of times the ego gets fired off and you start justifying or turning into a victim. Well, it wasn't my fault.
Okay,
next
vault.
One. Vault means that when people come to you to share things with you, that you're not sharing it with other people. And how you know that you got somebody in front of you that's violating the vault is because it's gossip.
Mm-hmm.
What is gossip?
Where you're sharing something that's like private, not supposed to be shared.
Sharing some dirt on other people and
so
that's negative.
Keeping confidences and private information private.
Private. So respect the vault. When somebody, you'll know you're one of those people when people share like some really vulnerable things with you.
You say everyone likes gossip, but no one likes the gossiper.
Yeah. Right? So for those of you out here who are like talk stink all the time over here, that's a local style of gossiping. Stop it, because everybody, they don't like you. They just like the dirt that you're sharing up. And just know that that's what's going on there.
And then probably when you're not around, they're talking stink about you too.
Yep. So that's what it is. Next one.
Integrity.
Integrity is all about, what is all integrity about?
Choosing courage over comfort and aligning your actions with values.
Yeah.
Yes, your values and your actions need to be in alignment.
And we got two more. And
non-judgment.
When people come to you, don't be like, oh, wow, what a crazy man. Sheesh, boy. And you're thinking about all this and you take their information, violate the vault. Stay out of judgment. And I will tell you that if you front face and dialogue with somebody and tell them you're not in judgment, if you are in judgment, like you're thinking it in your subconsciously they're going to read from you. They'll know.
Feel that.
They'll know that you're inauthentic.
So the definition from Brené Brown is approaching others with compassion and listening without condemnation.
Yeah. One of the things we learn from when people come to you with issues, probably majority of the time we go straight into solving mode.
And they just might want to be listened to. They just need to be heard.
And here's the very easy way. Somebody comes to you, your kids, your significant other, people on your team, people in your church, they come to you like with this big, huge, hairy problem. Here is going to be your response. Wow, that sounds very difficult. What's more important to you? Do you want to be comforted, or do you want me to help you with this as a solution?
Yeah, ask them.
And I will tell you,
what they want.
90% of the time, they're going to say, just be comforted and listen to me. Okay.
Right. And then the last one before we bring on our expert we trust is generosity. Assuming the most generous interpretation of others' intentions and behaviors.
Okay.
All right. So speaking of the braving, someone in our world, an expert we trust that is follows these braving methods day to day in his personal and professional life. We have Danny Langerman with DHA Financial.
DHA Financial. By the way, if you want to get a hold of Danny at any time, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com and go to our Experts We Trust page. Danny, what you got for us this week?
Hey, guys. Thought I'd just kind of mention that, there's been a lot of talk about the 50-year mortgage.
Yes.
So
the 50-year mortgage, like, Danny, let me ask you something. If I'm 90 years old, would you recommend I get a 50-year mortgage?
No, I definitely would not recommend a 50-year mortgage.
No 50-year mortgage and no green bananas.
If you're 90 years old, you know what Danny recommends? A reverse mortgage.
Reverse mortgage.
Yes.
But tell us about that. And you're spot on, because I'm seeing that in social media. I'm hearing that on podcasts. Mm-hmm. Tell us about this 50-year mortgage.
So right now it's all hearsay. We'll see if that actually turns out. So the whole premise of it is to make it to where more people can qualify for mortgages. So to push out the amortization, in other words, to 50 years, the better chance it is that people are able to qualify. Typically, you'll have, say, $150 to $200 lower payment than you would with the 30-year fixed mortgage.
But then you've got so much more interest that you're paying, right? When you do the numbers, you're like, "Whoa, wow!" I mean, like, this is great for the banks or great for the investor,
you're like,
but not so much the consumer.
I bought a house for $1 million, and then 50 years later, with principal and interest, it cost me $10 million. Pretty much. I don't know.
Yep, it is. And Adrienne, you hit it right on the head. It's better for the banks. So more or less, it becomes a product that becomes a subsidy, so more people can qualify to be able to purchase a house. So there's definitely some good and some bad with it. You know, one of the kind of the hurdles that I see with it is if banks are going to accept it or not. Because a lot of banks, are they really going to want to wait 50 years before they get all their money back so they can reuse that money again? Mm-hmm. It's all up in the air.
Well, Danny, you know, like the whole reason why this is coming up is because of affordability. And it sounds like, you know, you could save a couple $100 a month. Now, I know that there's other strategies that can be used, you know, depending on the consumer or the buyer's goals and priorities, right? So like there's, you know, you can do the buy downs, the temporary buy downs, the 3-2-1 buy downs.
How about putting more money down?
Yeah, put more money down. I mean, like, it just really depends. There's a lot of different other strategies to save money.
Yeah.
And then as you know,
mortgage.
and when the market does change or shift, boom, you refinance into that lower rate that's fixed. So I know that there's a lot of different ways to do this, but you just, you know, you got to sit down with someone like Danny and strategize. Like there's not just one solution with this 50-year mortgage.
But Danny, anything else on the 50-year mortgage?
No, I mean, right now, again, it's all hearsay, and I'll keep you guys posted. If they decided to bring it to the market, I'll let you know.
You know, Danny, one of the things I want to share with you and our listeners is that people are thinking like the 50-year mortgage, like this is some brand new concept. It's actually been in Japan already, 50-year mortgages, because their prices were kind of crazy. And
then where are their prices now?
Where are their prices now? Still, I mean,
they're kind of low.
I don't know. It's
I
like
think you can buy some bargains in Japan.
When you know, like now when grandma passes away, she's passing on her 30-year mortgage to you, whereas before it would be like paid off. But so it's not a new concept in the world, just new to the here in the U.S.
You know, I like one thing that we really enjoy doing and helping, even though it is kind of complicated, is, you know, helping people like with all the government loans with the lower rates. You know, when there is an assumption available and that buyer is able to bridge that gap. I think if we could bring something along the lines as far as how do we get some decent financing to bridge the gap, right? Finding like the credit unions with availability for that extra money to bridge the gap, and then you can get your 2.5% interest rate on that assumable loan.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about that on the next show.
Yes.
That's a great question that we don't have the answer for in this moment. But Danny,
we're still searching. We're searching for the answer.
Danny, for you, last question. And I always want to actually wrap with this question every single time you're on. When is a good time to refinance?
Call me and I'll let you know. Okay. Take a look at your entire picture rather than just say, hey, because there's a lot of times I can tell you, okay, it would make sense if we can save you enough money versus exactly what you're paying in closing costs, give you a break even on how many months out it'll take. It's personal preference.
And also too, Danny, if it doesn't make sense, you're going to also tell them that, right?
Absolutely. And I'll say, okay, look, so if rates are at 6%, it'll make more sense if they drop down to 5.5%. I'll put you in my tickler. I'll make sure that I follow up with you when rates are 5.5%.
But then also, like, there's another layer to that. I would say, what is their intent as far as holding on to the property? Because how long is it going to take for them to recapture that savings, right? So that's why you're saying it's a very personal
That's why Danny said he's going to have to talk to you. And so refinancing and having a conversation with Danny is like going to the restroom. It's just something you're going to have to do for yourself.
Okay. On that note, thank you, Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
For the tip of the week. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right. So that's Danny Langerman with DHE Financial. He is an expert we trust. Yep. You can find him on the resource tab on teamlally.com.
What else do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about a review that we got.
Okay.
So this one is from Wayne. And Wayne left a review for Howard Nett of Team Lally. He did an excellent job helping me prepare my old condo for sale, selling it, and at the same time helping me buy a new condo.
Yeah.
He got the closing of the sale and purchase within a few days of each other just before I left for a 10-day mission trip with my church missions team. Mahalo, Howard. Yeah. Way to go. I mean, I think like with that timing, like that can be kind of tricky, a sell to buy and having it all line up. So,
one of the topics.
Good job to Howard Nett.
Good job to Howard Nett. By the way, we always tell our clients that, we're really, really good at what we do. We're genuine. We're authentic. We're here to serve our clients at the highest level, but don't take our word for it. All you got to do is go to Google, type in Team Lally. You'll see all of our reviews. We're over 800 5-star reviews on there.
Oh, and something new that you can be on the lookout for. We're going to be doing some interviews with some of our past clients, asking questions on just their experience, and we've had some pretty unique situations, and we'll be sharing them. We won't be just hearing from us, but you'll be hearing from our clients as well.
So, by the way, listen to our show every Saturday on AM 830 KHVH to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program. Other ways that you can listen to the show, Adrienne?
Oh, you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. Oh, you can listen to us we have a podcast as well.
On iTunes, we have that drops.
Oh, and then the iHeart app as
well. iHeart app, that one will live stream it on Saturday when our show is actually airing, so you can hear us live on that thing. And then there's always nuggets. And then you can always go to our teamlally.com and go to our media page.
Oh, that's right.
All of our shows are uploaded there every week. And hey, if you're a business out there, here's the people that we do like interviewing as main guests on the radio show. Entrepreneurs that have something unique or a unique story, or nonprofits that are supporting our community right here in Hawaii. Be glad to have you on as a guest of the show. All you got to do is send an email to info@teamlally.com. That's info@teamlally.com. By the way, Adrienne, what if somebody's listening right now is like, I had this real estate question.
That's too easy. Just send us an email at info@teamlally.com and say, I want my question for the radio show to be answered live.
And here's the deal.
Answer it.
Email us
on the air.
Email that question to us, info@teamlally.com. And here's a little paying it backwards. If we do answer your question or take your question and answer it on one of our radio shows, we will email you a $5 Starbucks gift card. How's that sound? We'll buy you a cup of coffee.
All right. That sounds great. We have 3 open houses for this Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday from 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
All right. So we have the first one is on Ho'alua Street.
Oh, wait. Let me get my glasses. We got so many of them.
Sunset Beach. This one's right in front of Sunset Beach. We've been talking about this one for a while.
You guys out there and then, going kind of slow driving out there because everybody's looking at the big waves. This is high season. When you see the Team Lally open house sign and it says oceanfront, we don't, whether you dream building, you can buy it, you got friends, you got big baller friends, just come in. We're going to give you snacks and drinks. Come check out the property, watch the sun go down and all that good stuff. So that's at our Sunset Beach listing, which is on Sunday.
2 to 5.
2 to 5. What's the next one?
All right. You go read number 2.
All right. 1543 Mahe Place. This is in Honolulu, 1.55 million, back on the market with a new price. This is a Foster Village gem with a pool and 3 flexible living areas, perfect for rental income, multi-generational living, or creating your own retreat. It's got 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 1,400 square feet.
Nice. All right. And then this next one is in, it's Kapolei, first open.
Yeah.
911022 Hokuwekua Street.
Hokuwekua Street.
Okay, there we go. Freshly updated Kapolei home design for comfort, featuring new upgrades, a downstairs primary suite. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
No stairs. And access to Parks, Rail, and West Oahu.
So again, that's 91-1022 Hoku Vekiu Street in Kapolei.
Oh, low HOA fees as well.
Those low HOA fees are very important because you pay off the mortgage, but you're always going to have those HOA fees. And those are important to pay attention to because, they pay for the common areas, the clubhouses, and whatever amenities come with your community. And for example, I've been living in the villages of Kapolei since 2007. And I think when I first moved there it was like $35. And you BOK people out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like $45, $50. So it hasn't gone up. And not only do we have one clubhouse with a pool, now we got a second clubhouse with big meeting rooms and stuff across the street with plenty of parking. So it's kind of nice. A lot of walking, It's a very walkable community. So if you're looking for an expert, by the way, I'm a native Hawaiian. I live on Hawaiian homes in Kaupea by Kapolei High School. Go Hurricanes! And you need a native Hawaiian who understands Hawaiian homes, the buying and the selling. Do give me a call. But I'm in the villages of Kapolei and local boy, born and raised. So we pretty much, Adrienne, and by the way, you're a veteran. How did you get here?
This was my first duty station.
First and last duty station
That's
via
right.
the Army and Uncle Sam.
Yep. I was working at the tunnel. And then after I had a baby, I decided that I did not want to be a soldier anymore.
So
I wanted to be mom.
A lot of people say, it's my dad always said, check out the business. But if you want to check out the business, check out who the people are. So we got native Hawaiian owned, locally owned. We got female boss lady. We got veteran. So we got everything here so that we can connect and relate with you. And we know how to buy and sell real estate because we've been doing this, how long already?
Over 20 years.
20 years and over $1 billion,
yeah.
1 billion. That's a B like boy, billion in sales. So if there is any situation you're in, trust me, no matter how bad or good or whatever, or how picky you are,
we
got solutions.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we are going to take a break.
Yeah.
But stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Janyce Myrland of Dream House Drafting. She's going to be sharing the latest updates on ADU and Ohana units, what's changing, what's possible, and what homeowners need to know before planning an addition.
So stay with us.
Hey, someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in a market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends, Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
The only real estate team I trust right here in Honolulu is Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now, thanks for joining me today. What's the number one reason homes don't sell on time?
Sean, sellers are in denial. They are stuck in the previous market and not pricing their homes properly.
How do you solve that problem?
We have a 12-step program. The first step is to have a smart pricing strategy. We follow the 10-10-0 rule. 10 showings, no offers, we have to adjust. 10 days on the market, no showings, another adjustment. For the other 11 steps, give us a call.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com. And you can start packing.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne, Lally, and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 five-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm still Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Our guest today is the president and lead designer at Dreamhouse Drafting Incorporated, with a strong foundation in design and drafting technology. From New York City College of Technology, she brings both technical expertise and creative vision to every project she touches.
From ADUs and Ohana units to full remodels and new build, she has helped countless homeowners navigate permitting, design challenges, and the path to turning an idea into a completed plan. Her passion, ensuring every client gets a space that truly fits their lifestyle and goals. Please welcome back our guest, Janyce Myrland. Welcome, Janyce.
Hi, Janyce.
Yes. All right. So we had hello. Yes, we had reached out to you because we saw some stuff that was happening, some things that had been
posts on social media,
some things that have been changing, and we were like, you know what, is that true?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, there are some things that have been changing. So let me go let's dive a little deeper. And I said, let's have our listeners hear about these changes and what is important to know.
So this is regarding ADUs and Ohana units. So what would you like to update the listeners on regarding those kind of rule changes?
I have the new bill and ordinance open on my large screen in front of me for reference.
Nice.
I think the most important thing that people need to understand, the overarching blanket, is that both ADUs and Ohana units are a concession, I should say, that allows people to have more than one dwelling units on a lot that normally would not be allowed to have more than one dwelling unit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously been a lot of excitement because Big Island was first to say they were going to allow more than one ADU, and people were hoping that would come here. The ordinance is very specific. You can only have one ADU. It has not changed that. Okay. The difference.
Now, Janyce, what if the lot has like 10,000 square feet? Can you have two ADUs if the lot size is larger?
No. I looked it up. Janyce is going to give you Janyce is going to steer us all straight.
Okay, thank you, Janyce.
What she's saying, and I'll repeat this, folks, you cannot have more than one ADU on your property, but she's going to give you the rest of the story.
That's because you live in Honolulu County. If you're listening from Hawaii County or another county, these rules are not necessarily the same.
Different.
So here on Oahu, which is considered Honolulu County and which DPP controls, you may have one and only one ADU. The good news is, especially for designers like myself, is that we are no longer limited to 800 square feet for the ADU. If someone has at least 5,000 square feet on their lot, the ADU can be up to 1,000 square feet. One of the major challenges that you encounter in designing for people and trying to give them workable, livable space with storage and decent sized rooms. I'm a tall person, so, I don't like crampy rooms, is that the 800, the used to be 800 square feet, now 1,000 square feet, had to do with everything that that was used by the accessory dwelling unit. So if you decided to put an accessory dwelling unit up on a second floor, then the stairs to get up there counted as part of your square footage for that. So, if you made it a decent 3.5 foot wide step and it had to climb 9 feet, you've lost all of that square footage plus whatever size landing you
In the
wanted.
calculation.
They
Yeah.
cannot have that now inside of their living space. So with 1,000 square feet,
Gotcha.
more ADUs will be able to have lanais if they're on a second floor. It'll
nice.
just be a nicer overall experience. Whereas
They can spread out a little bit. Grandma can spread out a
no, you're
little
not
bit.
sending
and,
her
you
up to
know,
the
get
second
her,
floor, are you?
No, grandma is not going on. Well, I mean, you
only
never
fit
know.
grandma.
Yeah, fit grandma.
Well,
like
here's what I would tell you.
Having stairs when you're older, like I think it helps keep you in shape.
They've actually proven this in Okinawa, where the centenarians, there's a high concentration, no chairs and no lift chairs on the stairs. They go.
And we had actually visited with one of our 95-year-old clients.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to be 96 this month.
Double railing though, double railing.
But he would go right up the stairs, right up. And
but that's interesting too that you mentioned with the stairs. Now, what about you help people understand the difference between Ohana unit and the ADU?
The law has stipulated since about 1992, there are a few older ones that this may not apply to, that Ohana units were strictly limited to people, I will read it directly, it must be occupied by
Verbatim.
persons who are related by blood, adoption, guardianship, marriage, or other duly authorized custodial relationship to the family residing in the principal dwelling unit. So Ohanas and ADUs are always extras. There's always a main principal dwelling unit. And the Ohana requires that the occupants be people who are related to the owner occupants.
Related.
So let's say you have a 10,000 square foot lot and you have some relatives that you want to have an Ohana dwelling for, and then you feel like you want to have an ADU for some non-relatives.
You can do that so long as all of the development standards for that particular zoning lot are met.
Yeah. I think, the big thing that I remember, Janyce, you always mention, and this is, I'm just going to be straight out for our listeners. I'm going to tell you, this is the main reason why you want to call Janyce if you're thinking about doing something like this, because I think a lot of times, and tell me if you get these people coming to you after the fact, they do it. I'll make the Hawaiian version of this phrase, the okole backwards, where they hire the contractor, put the deposits down, and then find out like, oops, we can't do it. So can they call you and say, we're thinking about do this, pay you some consultative fee, and say, do you think it's possible before we start guns a-blazing, bringing in the contractors, tearing up the house?
Definitely they can. I have, always offered to realtors a design consult service for their buyers, but I can certainly do that for homeowners in general who already own the property to say, what are the limits of what you can and cannot do? Because among the design development standards, there's a long list. There's setbacks, parking, maximum lot coverage, also known as building area. There's the maximum allowable hardscape. You also have height limits, and even thanks to the drama that went around because of all those monster homes, there's bathroom quantity limits. So there's a lot of things that have to be taken into consideration. And then if you can fit everything, on the lot. And you also cannot forget that both ADUs and Ohanas are not automatically granted to you. There is a pre-check.
You have to go through
the process. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them about the pre-check.
So the pre-check goes right back to the fact that these two types of units are basically a concession the city is allowing, where you're going to be able to have an extra unit where the zoning law says you should not. And in order to make sure this works, the pre-checks are reviewed by the building department in some cases the fire department, in all cases the Board of Water Supply and the wastewater department and the traffic department, because they're making sure that this is going to work. The most frequently denied pre-checks are in areas where wastewater says we have inadequate sewer capacity. And if any one of the line items on a pre-check is denied, the project is not happening.
Yeah.
So what if it is like not attached to the sewer and they're using septic? How does that work?
The way that works is then you have to have the appropriate engineer calculate how many, how large your leach field has to be, how large the tank has to be. I have not seen any changes in the health department's rules. The health department states that the maximum sized septic system that they will allow is for a 5-bedroom system. So now if you've got enough land to where maybe you can have, an Ohana and a main principal dwelling unit,
enough surface area for the leach field,
and you've got enough space to perhaps have another system for your ADU, then that would work. But you get into big trouble if you do not have the appropriate space for the leach field and also the appropriate setbacks. I always laugh about that because I think I've only seen on one of those DIY TV shows where somebody actually built something around the perimeter of the leach field to prevent anything from going anywhere. But there are required setbacks from structures and property lines for the leach field. So there's always this long list of criteria that you need to fit into before you can do your project.
Janyce, the question I have for you, a lot of times we're representing buyers on properties, and then we go in and do the, we have the property detail that we can get through Realist in the MLS. And first thing, as part of our due diligence in helping either the seller or the buyers, we go to the permit section, and it'll say like permit open, permit closed, things like that. How trustworthy is that information in the MLS for whether permits are open or closed? Because my definitive advice to everybody is just hire you to double check it.
Okay, well, I cannot speak for the MLS. It's something that I would personally, in my business, both providing permit compliance inspection services and doing design, find very useful to have access to. But realistically speaking, I'm not a licensed realtor, so I don't have access. However, the building department is where you can find out if permits are open or closed. By definition, unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. People see what is in actuality a building permit application in the city's website, and they come and tell me, yes, there's a permit, and no, that's only an application. It was not completely reviewed and did not become a building permit. And once it becomes a building permit, then it is quote unquote open. Only after all building and electrical, plumbing, and whatever other inspectors are assigned have actually put their signatures on there, is it closed.
Is it closed? One of the things that because we've known you for many years, and one of the things that we find is that I think what's valuable about your permit check is that what is physically there may not be in alignment with what DPP has recorded down there as permitted structures or additions or whatever.
Then I would also say that if you're thinking about making some updates or upgrades and getting a permit, you could be inadvertently getting yourself in hot water, right? Right, Janyce, when they come out and they come to approve.
They don't have just the blinders on and look at what you're calling them out for. They're looking at everything. Oh, what about that?
Yep.
That's not showing
I
over here
try
on the
to
tax
explain
records.
to people, and I find myself going through this repeatedly all the time of late with new clients, explaining to them what it is like to be an architectural designer, a building inspector, a general contractor. And even though I'm only one of those two and have never been the other two, we all get a feeling when we read a certain plan. We have an idea. When we arrive, if things look different, we're like, wait a minute, what's the deal? Am I in the right place? Okay, I'm in the right place. So something's wrong. They can feel off size wise. They can definitely be off, in terms of where things are laid out. It's not something that you just breeze through and don't notice. It's something that grabs you if you work in those occupations.
So what you do is, with your permit check, you're coming to the property and you're walking through and making sure that you're basically like, I mean, is it in a sentence, you're basically looking for anything that's not permitted within
just confirming what was done.
Confirming that what is permitted is matching up to what in reality is there.
So you don't get caught by the permit inspector when you're wanting to do the work. Right. So Janyce, maybe you could share a story.
Share some stories.
A story of an example, because I think my story. Well, give it to us, because they need to know these things.
Share the most funniest one.
Yeah, give it to us.
Okay, so first of all, people really need to know that whereas you guys remember we worked on a project that was a REO property, and you were trying to, get it permitted for sale. And in actuality, the bank, after retaining me and we got the permit, decided to just sell the loan, and you guys were cut out. Okay, remember that one. But on that one, it was, close to $150,000 in fines had been already come up on it. And
levied
then
or whatever,
there was definitely needed repairs, which hadn't been done, but the bank decided to just, get out of it. So people need to realize what happens is, if you don't understand what's going on and you think, oh, there's a permit because your real estate professional says so, which is what happened to the alternate buyer. And even went so far as to tell them that the only problem with it was that it didn't have a permit. Now it does. And despite my efforts and my former business partner's efforts to get in touch with her and say, hey, this permit belongs to whoever buys it. We'd like to give it to them. And we'd also like to alert them to the fact that it's open because none of the repairs have been done. And she was excessively rude. And then eventually the buyer wanted to know why their permits were open after they had closed on it. And she ended up running out of the country because we had covered ourselves. I wrote a very specific letter to her broker in charge and informed them, here, we're trying to help whoever buys this from you guys, and this is the situation. And then there have been others where people have moved in and the neighbors have called. It is extremely important for people to understand that if DPP gets a complaint, they are obligated to come out and check it out. And there's no way to know, who's going to say anything, if anybody's going to say anything. But unfortunately, I have met up with far too many people who have only been in their place for a month or less, and they have a notice of violation. They haven't done any construction. They just bought it. And the fees are no longer so tiny anymore. They start at $50 a day. And there's a tripling of the building permit fee as an added penalty. So the fines are $50 a day.
Sure.
What's the largest one that you've ever seen, Janyce, as far as like the fines and the fees?
I didn't get to see it personally, but I had somebody calling me because they should have known better. They were a house flipper and they decided to keep a particular property. And they were actually, DPP is using a collection agency a lot now, and they were trying to foreclose on this person. So it was, significantly above the 140, 150 from the one that we had worked together on, which you guys.
Yeah. Now DPP will work with you, right? I mean, if you're compliant and cooperating, they're going to work with you on that.
I would say unless you're a repeat offender.
Yeah.
We've seen the repeat offenders are not working with them
at all.
Yeah, they're just saying
now,
this is it.
I've seen a few. It is not as easy as it used to be, especially now that the collection agency is involved. So, unfortunately, sometimes there's nastiness between neighbors. I did have one client who was, he did have something that he had done that was not permitted, but what he was reported on was not true. And even though the one inspector said, "Oh, I see what you mean," and then removed the violation, when the inspectors changed who had what area, that person got the same violation over again. And then, that was during the time when it was taking DPP so long to get the permits. So fines were mounting up, and he had to really battle with them to say, wait a minute, that was removed. Why am I now, being charged fines on it? But the problem is you're talking to a collection agency, and they don't usually negotiate because by the time something goes there, it's understood that the owed party has given up. So,
So lesson learned.
Just do it right from the beginning.
Be nice to your neighbors. Be a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Do it right from the beginning. Call Janyce Myrland, Dream House Drafting. She will help you navigate all things permits, all things ADUs, Ohana dwellings, aging in place.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that you want to do with your home, she can do it.
Well, going back to the new rule changes regarding the ADUs, any final comments that you want to share with our listeners before we wrap it up?
No, I just wanted to make sure that they understood that this is not just an easy thing that you just drop into. There are a lot of boxes to be checked off. And
I think people, they see something on social media and they get all excited about it, and there's no detail there. There's no research.
Well, not everybody wants to hear that. Some people love, folklore and urban legend, and they just go.
Well, I would say too, like if you are currently like looking to buy a home and have that home add like the ADU or Ohana dwelling, or maybe you're a listing agent and you want to know, like, is this possible to add an ADU? Or reach out to Janyce. She's going to let you know. You don't want to get in hot water with advising clients or advertising something that's not completely true.
Yeah.
So check with Janyce. She's the expert.
If you're somebody looking to buy a home or you're representing a buyer, I would highly recommend that, especially if it's one of these homes in the older neighborhoods with a lot of obvious, like you look at it visually and you're like, there's a lot of work that's been done to this home. Probably want to bring Janyce in because I always tell, Janyce, this is what I tell agents and buyer agents. You don't want to inherit somebody else's problems.
The time to negotiate is in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like after it's closed, then it becomes,
your
could
problem.
Be like, or litigation.
Yeah.
Right. But,
and I think, Janyce, you mentioned it earlier too. I was at a broker meeting and the director of the Department of Planning was there at the time. And he said, there's no DPP police. It's your neighbors that are turning you in. So, and then he said, like, there's a huge chunk of the properties on Oahu that have non-permitted work on them. That's just what it is, but they're not running around looking for it, right? It's usually
they don't really have the resources to run around looking for it. One of the things that I see consistently when I do a permit checkup inspection where we actually pull all the permits from whenever the property was first built. When you look at the ones from the 40s, and the 50s, and even some of the 60s, you will see where there were inspections, where building inspectors were going door to door and checking on homes. They don't have the staff to be doing that anymore. So it's when people get turned in.
Same amount of staff, more homes now. Yeah. All righty.
Well, thank you, Janyce, for being a guest on our show and informing our listeners, and also always helping our team. You're an amazing expert. Yeah, you're an amazing expert we trust, and we love having you as a resource for us, our clients, and our listeners.
Yes, thank you so much,
Thank you, Janyce.
Take care.
All right, so that's Janyce Myrland, Dreamhouse Drafting. You can find out all about Janyce by going to teamlally.com, go onto the resource tab, and select Experts We Trust. She's right there. You can click on her website, all sorts of useful information. Now, we have something to report. We had our event for Brave Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it was a grand success. We had so much fun. We were giving away
3 nights in Las Vegas at our
condotel.
At our condotel. Then this is a condotel with jacuzzi tub, not jacuzzi tub, but it's got like a big tub in it, shower. It has a bedroom. It's got a pull-out couch, sofa sleeper couch. It's got a full kitchen.
Right next to the horseshoe.
Yep.
And
same. And it's on the pathway for F1. It's also within walking distance and viewing distance of the Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something we're giving away 3 nights. Now, you obviously got to get your plane ticket, bring your own gambling money. What's cool about the Platinum, the Plaza, what is it? Platinum Resort.
Yes.
The Platinum Resort is that there's no smoking, no casino.
There's a pool.
There's a pool. It's cool.
Yeah.
And it's someplace where you can go and you don't have to worry about getting up in the middle of the night and blowing a whole bunch of money because there's no casino, which you got to walk to one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Platinum Resort. And so at the Brave event, people were entering in for a drawing, and we just did the drawing. And here's our winner.
The winner is Amy Kitchener.
Spell the name.
Kitchener. Congratulations, Amy.
Congratulations,
We'll
Amy.
be reaching out and giving you instructions on how to book this day.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right.
And I guess we'll wrap it up with that. So thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
We have Bradley with Allstate Insurance.
Kinji of Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson with Fine Line Paint Works.
Amphi of Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino of Hawaii Unified.
And Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Janyce of Dreamhouse Drafting.
And let's see. Oh, Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Kyle with Impact Wealth.
And Brian with Cleanscape.
Benji of Hawaii Referral Agent.
Danny with DHA Financial.
Joseph of Keymasters Locksmith of Hawaii.
And Christopher with Falcon Services. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Sheen, our video producer.
Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price or time frame, we'll have it bought for cash. Thanks and aloha.